Such a beautiful day today. We decided to do a little road trip. We've traveled 135 kilometers southwest of our home. That's about 85 miles. And we've ended up in Port Burwell on the north shore of Lake Erie. So a little bit about Lake Erie. It is the fourth largest of the 5 Great Lakes, and it is the 11th largest lake globally by its surface area. Of the 5 Great Lakes, though, it is the most shallow. The North Shore is here in Ontario, Canada. The other shores touch on Michigan, Ohio, Pennsylvania, and New York. We just found out arriving here that Port Burwell has a claim to fame in that it is the home of the world arm wrestling champion. The main natural outflow, though, is via the Niagara River. The first time Lake Erie appeared on the maps was back in 1650, and the name Erie is derived from the Iroquoian word for long tail. This is the East Beach at Port Burwell, and it is rated a blue flag, and you can see it's quite popular. As Greg was saying, we're supposed to be getting a heat wave starting in a couple days, so during that heat wave you probably won't get moving on this beach. It'll be packed. Even in the time we've been here, a lot of people have arrived. And the water is shallow, so it's really good for families. So being Canadian and this being a road trip, we have stopped at Tim Hortons and picked up coffee and biscuit, and we're going to just sit and enjoy watching the boats, and then we are going to go explore another site here in Port Burwell, which is a Cold War submarine that is on display now as a museum. We're still in Port Burwell in Ontario on the north coastline of, or north shore of Lake Erie, and this is the HMCS Ojibwa. It's a Cold War era submarine, and they do offer tours. We're not doing one today, but Greg has done the tour in the past and says it is absolutely excellent. And if you're visiting, though, in the summer, probably best to book your tickets online in advance. So the Ojibwa sub is 90 meters in length. And as I mentioned before, they do an excellent tour. I could not do the tour, I'm a bit too claustrophobic. Greg said it was an absolutely fantastic tour and would highly recommend it. We're in Port Stanley, Ontario, on the shore of Lake Erie, and we're watching their lift bridge in action. And at the same time, the Heritage train is leaving as well. The sailboat has gone through, and now the bridge can come back down and the traffic can resume. Here goes the train.
In the summertime between May and October, that bridge opens every half an hour if there's boat traffic there. Whether it's a sailboat or a fishing boat, some of the motorboats can fit underneath of it. But it is can't believe it.
And the train does leave from the original train station. You can book a ride on the train. I believe it's about a 1-hour trip. And the sign here says that the Great Western Railway reached London in 1853. Sorry, that's the lift bridge again. And then the London and Port Stanley Railway began operations in 1856. The line prospered, carrying more freight and over 1 million passengers in some years before the Great Depression. When the increased use of the automobile came about in the 1950s, the railway saw a steep decline. There it goes. So now that the lift bridge is done, we can tell you a little bit about Port Stanley. As I said, it's on the shore of Lake Erie in Ontario, Canada. Population is about 3,000, and it sits at the mouth of the Kettle Creek. It was a very important route for explorers in the 17th and 18th century. You can see it is very busy here. Port Stanley has a large sheltered harbor, which we'll take a little walk by in a few minutes. But now it's mostly pleasure craft, although there is still a freshwater fishing industry alive and well here. The lift bridge, which we're looking at right now, is the King George VI lift bridge on the Kettle Creek, and it opened in 1939. The heritage train that we saw has trains from the 1940s and the 1950s. They've been running for about 40 years and is a very popular tourist attraction. And there's the Ontario Provincial Police boat just out on its patrol. Okay, we have another boat coming through, so get to watch the lift bridge going from another angle. We were just saying we had very good timing, because the last time we visited Port Stanley, nothing was going under the bridge that was of any height, so we've never seen it lift before. We've now moved on to St. Thomas, Ontario, which is home to the only elevated sculpture park in Canada. And it sits on a 95-foot high historic railway bridge. The park was transformed and opened in 2017 and is free to visit, and it's accessible too. So we're gonna go take a walk and we'll take you along with us. I'll just have to show you too this mural that's behind us. And it's of Jumbo the elephant, who tragically in 1885 was in St. Thomas with the Barnum Bailey Circus and got hit by a train. So there is a sculpture as well, or a memorial statue, as well as this mural. When you come to the park, you can scan a QR code and then do a self-guided tour of the park's history, and it's available in multiple languages. And there's one of the old signals. So we've just left the woodland trail and now we're on the top of the bridge. And there's lots of places to sit as you explore the art. As we said before, it's free, and there is free parking right beside the trail. We'll show you in a minute just how high up we are. So here we go. You get a really good view from up here. And I believe this is connected to another trail system. Thinking this is maybe one of the old railway markers. Here's some yarn bombing. And this one is called Love is in the Air, and it's a heart-shaped arch full of people's padlocks with messages. This piece is called Sunshade, which we could use today. Looks like a little miniature art gallery out on a balcony. See the little benches? Love that. Oh, sorry. Just carry on with our walk.
This is still a bridge, isn't it? Doesn't feel like it.
Yes, so this is a bridge that we're on the top of. I believe it has 15 arches underneath. We've never gone down onto the lower trail. We're going to see if we can get a look at that today. And you'll see when we get to the end of the bridge that the trail goes on for as far as the eye can see. So it's great for runners, or if you're biking or looking for a really long walk. On a day like this though, don't forget your sunscreen like we did. This is the last piece of art called Stalagmites by David Morris. A few things about the bridge itself. The Kettle Creek Bridge was built in 1872. It was a timber bridge with timber trestles. Then in 1883, it was replaced with metal and made into a double track. 1928, the concrete and steel was replaced with the 15 piers or pillars that are down below. And then in 2013, the On Track group bought the bridge with plans to create this elevated art park. It's pretty amazing. And if you're in the St. Thomas area, it is definitely worth a visit. I would imagine coming here in the autumn would be absolutely gorgeous. The trees turning. But it's pretty beautiful today too. So there's the bridge we were just on. Get an idea of there. So now we're underneath the rail bridge that we were just walking across. This amazing mural. And then the bridge continues on over this way across Kettle Creek, which is down here. I believe we're on Sunset. There's a little parking lot that you can pull into so you can come and look at the bridge.